Hey guys, glad to see you this morning. We are faking it big time. Oh. Jason, off season is here for me as well. Got to figure out a way to put that up on front. I know. It's what I want. Nothing but the fancy for me, Jason. Turn the veil off. Might be a little too dark. Today is absolutely about sorting through some new stuff. So bear with me, as you always do, as I stumble through the technology. Yeah, that veil's pretty dark. But it's nice. It's very comforting. All right, let's see. Hey, Steve from North Carolina. Good to see you. Okay. All right, that ended a little soon, but we're okay with that. Greetings and welcome to a Better Official Live. What is going on around here? It's crazy town. Got a new setup, new configuration for Basketball Rules Expert, and we will be doing that today, and I hope you will bear with me and you give me feedback about various things that go right, go wrong, etc., etc. Zooch, we are indeed live on a Wednesday, believe it or not. The struggle is real, baby. The struggle is real. My good one from Alaska in the house. Excellent. Great to see everybody. Gary. Beantown. You know, I used to be a Red Sox fan in my youth. I may have told that story. Moved to the Boston area in 1967, so became a big Carl Yastrzemski fan. In my youth. Good morning, Stan. Good to see you. Good to see you, Stan. I owe you a response to your email. Atlanta is in the house. Y Sports and Jason Hayes joining. Off-season is here. We've got state finals here in California on Saturday. The NorCal finals were last night. Okay. Alaska turns it up next week. Good to see. Yeah, Zooch, there's a veil. You see how just like there's a veil here? It's a little bit dark. Yes, that's the idea, Mike. Mike. Yes, that's the idea. Make that intro less distant so we can get some introductions out of the way, etc., and get onto the show more quickly. No candles. That is the bokeh effect, right? Let's see. No, it doesn't focus. Oh, it is that time of year. Vic Horton in the house. Great to see you, Vic. Good to see you. We are goofing around here, new format, trying some things out. Going to be able to bring the rules reference in. I don't know why my camera is lighten, darken. That is not a good development. That's something I'm going to have to resolve. But we're working through everything. Friday show? What Friday show? Uh-oh. Joe Raza, more Missouri action. Good to see you, Joe. Yes, we are live on a Wednesday. Uh-oh. All right. It's Old Home Week in the chat. Chris jumping in from Sioux Falls. Excellent. Yeah, Ray, I gave back my my NorCal opportunities due to my mending Achilles. I have begun to move about a bit, getting some walking in and some light jogging. We are on the road to recovery, and I'm excited about that. But all right. Okay, we are 10 minutes in, and we are going to get started with the show. I want to be able to do that more quickly going forward. Ray, are you saying you traveled for a D6 game? That'd be a rough trip. You didn't miss Friday, Randy. You didn't miss Friday. Oh, okay. Humble brag. Randy missed Friday because he was working the girls' final. Okay. All right. I see you. Congratulations, Randy. That's awesome. I got to stop jiggling the camera. All right. Okay. Let's see if this is going to function. Let's give it a go. Let's go. Greetings and welcome back to another episode of the Basketball Rules Expert, the show where we take National Federation of High School basketball rules, lift them off the printed page, breathe life into them, simplify, clarify, and amplify so that we can take the rules with us onto the basketball court. Greetings again, everybody. My name is Greg Austin with A Better Official. I've been a high school basketball official here in the San Francisco Bay Area for over a decade. Consider myself knowledgeable about the rules of high school basketball, and this show is all about helping you on a journey to becoming a basketball rules expert as well. If this is the video content you find valuable, it'd be a great time to consider doing all of the things, hitting the like button, the subscribe, and notify bell so you don't miss out on any of our new content. We live stream occasionally on a Wednesday and occasionally on a Friday. Join us for the live stream. Oh, great. Great. Hold on. I can see what I've done. I've made a mistake already in the show, so we may come back to that. Let me get rid of that. Right, I forgot to do the thing. Didn't have that out of sequence. Let's go there. And let's go there and take a look at the rundown. Hey, better late than never. Occasionally on a Wednesday and occasionally on a Friday, we do live streams. Join us for those. I'm going to get rid of that. Awesome. Awesome. Feeling good about today. And if you are new to the live stream and you're saying, what the hell is going on here? This man is out of control. But let us know where you officiate from. If you're new to me, my name's Greg Austin with A Better Official, and we craft video to help basketball officials get better. Excellent. And if you have a comment, question about any of the play scenarios, we only have a few play scenarios today as we try a new format. I can see right now I do need a frame. I think I need a frame around. It's a little bit, goes to the edge a little too comfortably. The Zooch knows what's going on. The Zooch knows what's going on. We're going to redo that intro. Don't you worry about that. And of course, if you have a moment, actually don't share this stream. It's too much of a dumpster fire. But normally that would show there. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Now, shall I go back and do the intro, the show intro? I could. Yeah, I can. Hey, let's look at plays. Greetings. Welcome back to another episode of the Basketball Rules Expert, the show where we take National Federation of High School Basketball rules and lift them off the printed page, breathe life into them, simplify, clarify, amplify, so we can take those rules with us onto the basketball court where it is most important. Greetings again, everybody. My name is Greg Austin with A Better Official. We craft video to help basketball officials get better. And I've been a basketball official here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area for over a decade. Consider myself knowledgeable about the rules of high school basketball, have a passion for helping explain those rules to others so that we can all get better together. If that's the video content that you find valuable, great time to consider doing all the things, the like and the subscribe and the notify, so you don't miss out on any of our new content. Before we get started, allow me to thank our tremendous, I forget what I do now. How do I get the show? Here. Huh. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that in post. That's interesting. Oh, excellent. I appreciate all the comments. So I'm supposed to have an overlay that pops in. Give me just a second. I'll figure this out. Get the countdown scene. Let's go here. No. No. Let's try that. Can't sort it. Can't sort it. Let me get the audio in. Okay. As we like to do, allow me to thank our tremendous show supporters. Brad Raywalt, Shane Parker, Chuck Ratliff, Les O'Connor Jr., and Jacob Krause. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? There'll always be a link down in the show notes below. Tremendous. All right, let's get started today with our episode. Only a few questions in this episode as we work through our new format. Let's get started, though, with scenario number 1. A1 is dribbling in the front court. B1 reaches and deflects the ball, which hits A1's knee and caroms into the back court. A1 runs to the back court and is the first to touch the ball. The officials give the approved NFHS signal for a deflection and rule this illegal play. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Players dribbling in the front court. We see this all the time. There's a lot of confusion about this play. Players dribbling in the front court. Ball is deflected by the defender off of the ball handler's leg into the back court. They run to the back court and retrieve the basketball. What do we have on this play? Let's review a couple of key pieces of rules that we need to evaluate this play. First of all, we have to understand the fundamental rule, 9-9-1, the backcourt rule, Article 1, could not be clearer. A player must not be the first to touch the ball after it has been in team control in the front court if he or she or a teammate last touched or was touched by the ball before it went into the backcourt. Clear, concise. Now, there's some additional language that's been added to the rule, the exception, which is not actually an exception, but NFHS added it because there was so much confusion when they changed throw-in rules to include team control during a throw-in, right? So they added this exception language. We can look at that. A ball in team control of Team A in the front court that is deflected by a defensive player, which causes the ball to go into the back court, may be recovered by either team unless the offense was last to touch the ball before it went into the back court. If the offense was last to touch the ball in the front court, only the defense can legally recover the basketball. That's all a long way around saying the fundamental rule. After a team has team control in the front court, they cannot be the last to touch the ball in the front court and the first to touch in the backcourt. And it's touch or be touched by, of course. And we have on this play a situation where the player was touched by the ball, right? It deflected off of their knee. We can also look at the fundamental rule about team control, Rule 4.12.2, Article 2, a team is in control of the ball. When a player of the team is in control while a live ball is being passed among teammates or during an interrupted dribble, when a player of the team has the ball for the disposal, when a player of the team has disposal of the ball for a throw-in. And that's part of the confusion, is this rule contains that throw-in component, which created so much confusion. Put that there. And Article 3 of Rule 4.12, a team control continues until, and this is critical, of course, to understand, the ball is in flight during a try or a tap for goal, an opponent secures control, or the ball becomes dead. We have to understand when team control ends. It's a critical component of a status and really a fundamental cornerstone of officiating basketball is understanding status, and in this instance, control, team control, player control, etc. Now, if we also look at a case play comment, and this helps us with the language. When a team secures control, that team continues to be in control until the ball is in flight on a try or tap for goal, or an opponent has secured control of the ball, or the ball has become dead. And that's really the important part of understanding team control continues until one of these three things happen. Release a try, opponent gaining player control, or the ball becoming dead. And until one of those three things occurs, our team still has team control by rule. So when this ball was deflected off of the player's knee and the official ruled it a legal play, were the officials correct? Yes or no? No. No, they were not. This is a backcourt violation by rule. There had been no change in team control. That player was the last to touch in the front court and the first to touch in the backcourt. This is a backcourt violation by rule. A lot of yammering. A lot of yammering. A lot, Noah. A lot. Good to see you. You are correct, Steve. And of course, this is an obvious violation, but it's one that people are confused about this. Why are people confused about the rule? It's absolutely officiated differently at the NBA level. Once that ball is deflected, there is no longer teams are allowed to go retrieve the ball in the backcourt in this instance, and also NCAA men. Similar situation. If the ball is deflected by the opponent, then they do have the ability to go retrieve. And of course, who watches NBA and men's collegiate? Everybody involved in high school basketball, right? So they get a misunderstanding. NCAA women, this would be a backcourt violation by rule. Oh. All right, so that's sort of the sequence, right? So it's going to lead to fewer play scenarios because there's more rules referencey stuff. My light continues to be erratic. It is legal in NCAA men. I guess my understanding is that if the ball is deflected, in this instance, the player is allowed to go retrieve. If the ball is deflected and then they contact the ball and cause it to go in the backcourt, there's still the opportunity for illegal. But this play would be legal in NCAA men. Hey, Humble, Texas is in the house. Good to see you, Gary. The player had front court status when it was deflected off their knee, and then they retrieved it in the back court. Alan? Oh, I see. I got it. I understand. Excellent. Appreciate that. The spot of the violation is considered to be the spot where the ball was touched in the back court. So we could have an end line throw-in depending on where it was. Y Sports says, what if the pass was intercepted by B1? Well, give me just a second here. Let me see if I drag this in, will it stay? No, it will not. Okay. What if the pass is intercepted by B1 and just before they go out of bounds in A1's front court, they throw it, right? So the key thing here is it was intercepted. That means there obviously is the opponent has secured control of the ball. Team control has ended by rule, and the subsequent throwing in off of the player with front court status would not result in a backcourt violation. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Minnesota, how's the weather out there? We are enjoying a nice weather here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. And spring is starting to sprung a little bit elsewhere. I don't know. Ed Harris from Houston. All right. Say hello to the SMB for me, Ed. The notorious Sylvia Bigot. Agree, Stan. Agree. Yeah, and I think my understanding, I think NBA takes the ball at the division line no matter where the ball was contacted, or at the 38-foot line or something weird. But obviously it's, in high school, it is the spot of the violation. Excellent. Okay. So we cycled through that. I think we're ready to move on to our next play scenario. What if I do that? Team A is awarded a throw-in near the division line. A1's throw-in is deflected by B1. A2 jumps from Team A's front court, catches the ball in the air, and lands in the backcourt. The officials rule this a legal play as the throw-in exception applies. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Well, we know that there is a throw-in exception to the backcourt rule, which allows a player to jump from the front court, catch the ball in the air, and land in the backcourt. So I think, well, let's take a look at that rule. Rule 9-9-3, Article 3, during a jump ball throw-in or while on defense, a player may legally jump from his or her front court, secure control of the ball with both feet off of the floor, and return to the floor with one or both feet in the backcourt. The player may make a normal landing, and it makes no difference whether the first foot down is in the front court or the backcourt. So we know we have a rules exception on throw-ins, so clearly our officials... But wait, this is during a throw-in. We have to know with the 3 restarts in the game of basketball when each of them starts and when each of them ends, because each of them has a series of rules and restrictions which begin when the throw-in starts, in this instance, and end when the throw-in is completed. The restrictions end when the restart ends. So let's take a look at that rule, Rule 4-42-5. The throw-in ends when the passed ball touches or is touched by another player in bounds. So when the defensive player touched the throw-in had ended by rule. All rules and restrictions related to the throw-in had ended by rule, but also our exception, which allowed a player during a throw-in to jump from their front court, catch the ball in the air, and land in the backcourt legally, that exception to the rule had also ended. So in this instance, our player who caught the ball in the air caused the ball to gain front court status. They had player control, front court status. By landing in the backcourt, the player had committed a backcourt violation by rule. So in this instance, when the officials ruled this to be a legal play, were the officials correct, yes or no? No. No, they were not. This is a backcourt violation by rule, and the reason being is that the exception allowing a player to jump from front court to backcourt had ended when the throw-in ended on the touch by the defender. So call incorrect on this play. Last slide for this play. Don, you can always send a video to... I'll put it in the chat. Here, let me see. betterofficial.com/submit, please. Yeah. Let me cancel that. Zuch, are you taking credit for this play? Becoming a case play. That would be awesome. Michael says 17 degrees in Minnesota. Okay, in the 50s next week. That's probably really exciting. Really exciting. Kamali, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in on the live stream. Oh, excellent. Excellent. I haven't had a chance to check. I will. All right. Let me get this here. This here. Oh, those street... I don't know if you can hear that, but you shouldn't be able to hear that, but there's a little construction work here in the neighborhood. But with that, let's take a look at play. Let's take a look at our next play scenario. A1 is fouled by B1 during rebounding action. The players then go face-to-face, and a double technical foul is called. The original foul by B1 was the team's 10th team foul. The officials report all fouls and then resume the game with 2 free throws by A1 with players filling marked lane spaces. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? So A1 during rebounding action is fouled. 2 players continue the energy between them, face up to each other, and are assessed a double technical foul. Technical foul to each player. The foul by B1 was the 10th team foul, and so A1 should be awarded 2 merited free throws. The officials resume the game by reporting all the fouls and then resume the game with A1 shooting free throws with the players in marked lane spaces and resuming the game from there. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? This brings up a couple of rules we can review. If we look at the penalty summary for Rule 10, fouls, there are no free throws awarded for double, personal, or technical fouls, and refers to the point of interruption. Point of interruption, Rule 436-1, Article 1, method of resuming play due to an official's inadvertent whistle, an interrupted game, a correctable error, a double personal, double technical, or simultaneous foul. So when we have a double foul, we will go to the point of interruption. If it is a double foul or a double technical or also simultaneous fouls, we will go to the point of interruption. Rule 436, point of interruption, Article 2, play must be resumed by one of the following methods: a free throw or a throw-in when the interruption occurred during this activity, or if a team is entitled to such. So in this instance, A1 was due 2 merited free throws, so our point of interruption would be the resumption of the game with those free throws. So in this instance, when the officials did just that by resuming the game with the attempt of the 2 bonus free throws with players in marked lane spaces, did our officials adjudicate the play correctly? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they did. This would be the proper adjudication of the play. Resumption of the game at the point of interruption. In this instance, the point of interruption is what would happen next in the game in the absence of the double technical fouls, and that would be 2 merited free throws for the offended player and players filling marked lane spaces. That's how we're going to resume the game. It is one of the 3 restarts in the game. So our officials were correct on this play. Zooch, they're improving their record. And you are taking credit. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Of course, this is call correct. We've reviewed this play before. I'm trying to get the sync of the process here. The process. Now, if I go there. All right. Let's take a look at our next play scenario. A1 is disqualified for receiving a 5th personal foul with 2 minutes remaining in the game. A1 re-enters the game as a substitute and promptly scores a goal. The officials don't recognize A1's entry until during the dead ball after A1's goal. The officials score the goal and rule a direct technical foul on the head coach of Team A. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Well, this is a wild scenario and does not happen often, right? Where a player is disqualified either due to a flagrant foul or due to multiple technical fouls or due to, most likely, disqualification due to accumulating 5 personal fouls or fouls towards disqualification. Perhaps in this scenario, the coach wasn't properly notified or did not perceive the fact that the player was disqualified or just had a brain cramp on this play. But ultimately, that player is sent back into the game, participates in the game, scores a goal, and at that point, the officials recognize that this player should not be allowed to further participate. They have been disqualified by rule. Assess a direct technical foul on the head coach, but allow the goal to stand. Were the officials correct? Let's take a look at some rules references to help us decide. Rule 10-6, the head coach's rule, Article 3 states the head coach must not permit a team member to participate after being removed from the game for disqualification. And our coach did that. And the penalty for which is 2 free throws. This is a direct technical foul on the head coach. 2 free throws plus the ball for a division line throw-in. The foul is charged directly to the head coach, penalized if discovered while being violated. In addition, our player who entered the game, right, our disqualified player, became a legal player in the game when they became a legal substitute. And we can see in Rule 3-3, Article 3, a substitute becomes a player when he or she legally enters the court. If the entry is not legal, they become a player when the ball became live. They did that. They scored a goal. That goal should stand by rule, as we have no authority to rescind that goal. So in this instance, no? I see. Right. Right. So in this instance, when the officials allowed the goal to stand and then assessed a technical foul, direct technical foul on the head coach, were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. The penalty is appropriate. The player must leave the game. They are disqualified. There's no penalty on that player. This re-entry is the responsibility of the head coach directly, and they receive a direct technical foul, lose their privilege to stand and coach their team. If they had accumulated a previous technical foul, they would be ejected by rule. But also, the key thing here is that the goal scored by the illegal player is allowed to stand. Although I say that, and I'm like, somewhere in the back of the game, in the back of my mind, well, yeah. But stuff happens. Stuff happens. Good morning, Joseph. Mike Goodwin says, also see 863. Allow me to attempt. Let me do this. That's part of the problem. Why doesn't that work? Here, let me try to do something here on the fly. Right, okay. This is VLC. let's see. 8, 6, 3. Oh, I might have wasted my time on that. Thanks for bearing with me there. Mike says A1 legally became a player. Yes. The goal is scored. Thank you for confirming that. You know, I guess the most likely scenario where this could occur is if it was unclear that the player was disqualified. Let's say there was a hard foul. The officials thought everybody understood that this would be a flagrant foul and that player was disqualified. The penalty would look very similar to an intentional foul. The player subs out. Maybe the coach thinks, we got to take them out of the game for that hard foul that's ruled intentional, but it's actually disqualified. Of course, if the officials fail, and we see it occur where everybody sort of assumes that the coach knows that player is disqualified with 5 fouls, right? But there's in the end no actual communication of that fact. So that's a possibility for a play like this as well. I mean, you could see a scenario where this was not a nefarious act by the coach, but rather one of the simple lack of awareness. Absolutely, Gary. That's what we'd want our table to do, is say, hey, no. Hey, ref, that player was disqualified. Oh, they're not allowed to keep playing, Ed. They are disqualified. They have erroneously been allowed to further participate, but they would be removed from the game. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem outside the realm of possibility to me that this could possibly occur in a game. Right on. Okay. How many more? Can you hear that in the background? Let me know. Heavy machinery. All right, I got one more play scenario, so let's take a look at our next and final play scenario. During the jump ball to start overtime, jumper A1 bats the tip, which caroms off the tossing official's head high into the air. A1 then jumps and catches the ball before it touches the floor. The officials rule this a legal play. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? Jump ball to start overtime. Right? The ball is batted, caroms off the tossing official's head high into the air. One of the jumpers jumps into the air, catches the ball, and the officials rule this a legal play. Is that correct? Yes or no? Well, if we look at the simple rule covering jump ball administration, Rule 6-3-8, the jump ball and restrictions end when the ball touches or contacts one of the 8 non-jumpers, an official, the floor, a basket, or a backboard. So, understanding restarts, when they start, restrictions begin. When they end, those restrictions go away. We know that a jumper during a jump ball cannot catch the ball legally. One of the jumpers cannot. But when does a jump ball end? That's the key component on this play. When does the jump ball end? The jump ball ends when it touches one of the 8 non-jumpers, the floor, an official whose status is always considered to be the same as the floor, the backboard, or the basket. In any of those instances, the jump ball has ended. All restrictions on players have ended. So when this player legally jumps and catches the ball, were they legally allowed to do so as the officials ruled? The officials were correct. Yes, they were. This is a legal play because the restrictions that occurred during the jump ball had ended by rule when the ball contacted the official. That was messy business. Hey, Rick Watson, good to see you. In the house. Have anybody ever seen that? I mean, obviously officials get contacted sometimes, knocked out, as it were, with a jumper, elbow, etc. But has anybody ever seen the jump ball, contact or have experienced? It's always entertaining when we are contacted by the basketball in any scenario on the floor. But this would be, because imagine it's batted hard and it bounces way up in the air. Everybody would just be like frozen. Yes. Mike says, our disqualified player 10-6-3 situation B. 10-6-3 situation B. Let's take a look. Ooh. Oh, I see. That was interesting. All right, here's our play scenario. Let me go here. Oh, I don't want to do that. Let's go here. Take a look at that case play. 10-6-3 situation B. A5 has just received their fifth foul. They leave the game after the coach is notified. At the intermission between the third and fourth quarter, A5 reports as a substitute and subsequently enters the game. Oh, that's excellent. Right? And that's our little window in for that player getting into the game without our knowledge as well. Because during the intermission, right, in theory, players go to the table and say, I'm reporting. In practice, often, players just show up on the court. Maybe our table crew is distracted at the moment, during the intermission, etc. So that is excellent. And the ruling on B, A5 will not actually participate until the ball becomes live. If detected to the ball becoming live, A5 would be directed to the bench and no penalty assessed, since they were not legally a player, since the ball did not become live. If detected after the ball becomes live, it is a technical foul charged directly to the head coach, resulting in the loss of coaching box privileges. The player is immediately removed from the game, and Team B is awarded 2 free throws and a division line throw-in. Mike, thanks for that reference. I'm happy that I was able to bring it in, and that's one of the things that I want to do in this format, is be able to more elegantly bring the rules references and case plays that I have not, detected But that is perfect. That is the exact scenario that we're talking about on this play. I'm going to add it in post. And the language really helps us. And it also exposes a situation where a player could enter undetected, as it were. Oh, excellent, Rick. We've got a large Missouri crew in the house today. Stan says, does our jump ball end when tipped directly out of bounds or touching the floor in or out of bounds? That's interesting because obviously an out of bounds violation has occurred when a jumper jumps and taps the ball and it goes directly out of bounds, lands out of bounds. An out of bounds violation has occurred. The restrictions of during the jump ball, though, haven't ended until that ball becomes dead. That particular scenario is not addressed by rule, probably because it doesn't have to be. Noah is looking for camps in the Midwest. If anybody's got that information, they could throw that out there and help with that. All right. Okay. I am out of play scenarios. My main purpose here today was to stumble through some basic format stuff. The sequence of presenting the rules in addition to the actual play scenarios. Earthquake. And so we've accomplished that. We've got a new intro sequence where we will have the hot mic. We won't have that for the outro sequence. I want that there. Right. Okay. Okay. All right, let me do a show wrap up here. Let me see. I'm going to do that by going here. Well, this is going to be wildly clunky. Hey, thanks for joining us today for the Basketball Rules Expert. If this is the video content you find valuable, be a great time to consider doing all of the things, the liking and the subscribing and the notifications, so you don't miss out on any of our additional content. Allow me to thank our tremendous show supporters, Brad Raywalt, Shane Parker, Chuck Ratliff, Les O'Connor Jr., and Jacob Kraus. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? There will be a link down in the show notes below, and I'll put one up above as well. Right. We have additional content available here. Here is a video that I have selected for you. Here is a video that YouTube has selected for you. You make your selection, and we'll see you in the very next video. Take care. That's going to do that. Work to be done. Well, Sylvia would be the great source for that, I would assume. Probably has her own camp down there. Rick, it's great having you on board. It's been a while. Is that because I missed? Thanks, Gary. Yeah, so the rules, but the integration is sort of the question, right? So one of the positives, I think, of the previous format of Basketball Rules Expert is just like, here's the play, here's the ruling, more in a conversational, sort of, again, sort of taking the rules and making them presented in a non-text base, a non-text fashion. And I think there's value to that, but other officials are like, well, what's the rules reference, right? What can I look at? What is the language, et cetera? You say, and of course we always recommend, it's just like, the way that many officials learn the rules is by asking other officials. Hey, I had this play scenario. What was the correct ruling on the play? Oh, the correct ruling would be that you'd give the ball to the team A and at the spot nearest the whatever. Right? But what we're doing is we're learning a rule from sort of secondhand information. And while that official may be wildly respected, and that official may be highly experienced, it is possible that that official will give you an erroneous ruling. And now our rules-based understanding is the foundation is not strong because we've learned a rule away from the actual rules reference. So that's the challenge. Yes, and that, Such, is one of our main objectives, really shortening up the broadcast, the live stream as well. So, yeah. Michael just got selected to ref a quarterfinal D3 JUCO National Championship tournament in Rochester, Minnesota. Wait a minute. That is tremendous, Michael. That is tremendous. Are you working on the men's side, women's side? That's awesome. That's tremendous. And is it a situation where you're in a pool of officials, like the officials who are doing the quarterfinals are potentially available for additional games in the tournament? Or is it a sort of a one-and-done scenario? In any event, that is fantastic news. Great to hear that success. Thank you, Ted. Thanks for joining, and I appreciate the feedback there. Excellent. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to duck out, and we're going to complete things in just over an hour. Okay. All right. National tournament, that is tremendous. Hey, don't screw it up. All right. I'm going to wrap it. I appreciate everybody joining today, putting up with the slings and arrows of show construction. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you on Friday for 5 Play Friday. I understand we've got a great group of plays in the pipeline, and we'll see you there. Have a great one.